What's up YouTube, Barcode here, bringing you another Heir of Light video. This video is going to be for the newer players that have come on board, been playing for maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks if you're really competitive and been grinding out the game. And you are defeating Omen 10 and Heide 10. Where do you go about next? I get this question all the time. What is your next progression goal? What do you want to do after you completing all of those floor 10 awakening dungeons and Omen and Heide? This video will be discussing that. Just remember, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Hit that button, hit the notification bell so you get videos when I post them up, so you are in the loop of what's going on in the game. So let's go ahead and get into the discussion. So a lot of people are wondering, okay, I'm defeating these floors. Do I start trying to transcend all of my characters as much as possible? Maybe focus on some Nat 4s or Nat 3s, transcending them? Or do you work on awakening, trying to get to that 3rd and 5th awakening slot so you get that necklace piece of gear or you get the ring piece of gear? Well, this video is going to be about that. So let me go ahead and show you what I recommend on you doing so you can progress faster. Alright, so let's first start off with the gear dungeons, Omen and Heide. Okay, so you're defeating 10, you're defeating 11. You definitely want to focus on floor 11 or on both, but you don't need to necessarily if you don't have your characters awoken to the 3rd and 5th slots, meaning you get that extra necklace slot, you get that extra ring slot, okay? If you don't have it awoken to the 3rd or 5th slot to get those gear, then there's no reason to really focus on floor 11 yet. So let's focus on how to get to that point, okay? And that's the awakening dungeons. So the awakening dungeons, guys, they don't hit hard. It's more of a progression check, okay? So awakening dungeons, and this is every weekend is a great opportunity to talk about this, is because every single element is open. So you literally, every single day of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is Friday considered a weekend? No, but I consider it a weekend. Every day is a weekend. I work from home, baby. So floor 11, floor 12, okay? Magic dungeon, there's no requirement, okay? It's just, if you can beat it, you can beat it, okay? And the safest way to do it is damage over time teams. I'm taking Water Lucian, I'm taking Fire Lara, I'm taking Fire MJ, I call her MJ, because they have damage over time. There's plenty of sustain. I have a heal from MJ, I have a heal over time from Water Lucian, and I have my tank and damage, okay? So on auto, it works just fine, okay? Floor 12, the same thing. It's just damage over time. There's no requirement for magic dungeons. You should always be doing the awakening dungeons at least 11 and 12 every single day when you can do them, okay? Now we talk about flame and all the other different elements, right? Every single element. So fire, you need a 7,000 CP or more with 4 tank servants, okay? If you don't have 4 tank servants, that's your next progression goal, is to get 4 tank servants over 7,000 CP. Same with the water dungeon, you need 4 support servants over 7,000. You need every single class above of 4 over 7,000, okay? As you can see, I can do this with a 5-star unit, okay? It just depends on the gear, and there's no skill ups in her, okay? Which I just pulled up Light Lara, okay? I'm gonna skill her up eventually, but there's, you know, it's just the 2nd awakening, okay? And all it is the gear. If you have decent there's even a 4-star piece of gear here. If you level them up at least till 15, or I have a 12 there, but if it's 6-star gear, 5-star gear, you can make that 7,000 mark and be able to do it with 5-star characters. The dungeons do not hit hard, so it's just a progression check. That's all it is, okay? And if you can get 4 servants over 7,000, then you're fine. Now once you get into the 12th floor, you need 15,000 CP. So that's talking about transcending, awakening, and you know, getting more that necklace piece open and the ring piece open to be able to get more CP on your character. That's when you need to work on that. But as you can see, nature dungeon, you need 4 ranged at 7,000. You need for light, you need, I think it's 7,000 too. I think they're all 7,000, but someone was saying that it might not be. but it is 4 melee at 7,000, and then the last one, the Dark Dungeon, is 4 healers at 7,000. So you definitely need to work on that. If you're beating floor 10 Omen Heide, this is your next step, because you want to be doing the Awakening dungeons of floor 11 if you can do it every single day. You get 3 Supremes. If you want to spend carrots, you can, to get 3 extra Supreme stones that day. Then do that if you have a plethora of gems. But if you do this every single time on the weekend, you're going to run out of carrots pretty quickly if you're free to play or small minnow. But so just be aware of that. But at least do the 3 floor 11 dungeons every single day. How do you get to 7,000 CP? Like I said before, it's not very hard. If you can farm floor 10 of Omen and Heide, you can get to 7,000 CP. And if you get, the best example is if you awaken to the second awakening and then get gear of, 5-star, 6-star gear, even 1 piece of 4-star gear, and just set that up, you will be fine. You can do it with 4-star characters as long as they're good, right? I mean, damage over time or nuking capability. Like I said, the dungeons don't hit hard, so it's very easy to do. So definitely something you should be working on. If you have your main team and you're, say, you're 6-starring people or 5-starring people, and you don't know who to 6-star next or whatever the case may be, 6-starring does help in CP, so that's 1 plus to that. But at least start working on getting 4 heroes of every single class so you can farm those floor 11s. Another question in regards to all this that I'm talking about is, do I start Transcending first? Do I start Awakening first? I'm going to be doing a Transcendence video coming up in the short future of, prioritizing who to transcend, who not to transcend. There's very many tips with that, and there's definitely people you should transcend over the others. But Transcending and Awakening goes hand in hand, okay? You get a huge amount of bonus stats when you transcend, okay? So if you transcend at level 5, you get all these stats, right? So that's amazing. Transcending is by far one of the best things that you can do for a character. However, if you transcend and they're only at the second awakening, you're not competing with the big boys anyway, because you don't have the necklace slot, you don't have the ring slot. Okay, so it goes hand in hand, right? If you were Transcending is going to help a lot, like I said, but if you don't have these slots, it's just, you got to balance it out. Definitely work on a main damage dealer. After you start doing floor 11, you're able to get the Supreme Stones a ton. Then you start working on your main team, okay? After your main team is done, and main team meaning, maybe your Omen dungeon to be faster, or your Heide dungeon to be faster, to be able to do floor 11, start awakening them, getting more gear, being able to do more damage, getting floor 11 down. Yes, that's your main goal. Get your main team up, right? After that, then you can work on PvP or the, tower invasion or whatever you want to do next, right? World boss maybe to get more rewards, etc. Okay, but until then, you have to balance it out. You got to start with your main team, and then you can work on all of your element teams, right? Your 4 heroes that you're using of every single class to work towards that floor 12 requirements of that high CP amount. Once you'll be able to do that, then you're going to be then you really get into mid game. Okay, that's when you start getting into mid game, and then working towards end game, which is PvP, right? And that's my main focus is that. So that's kind of my guide and tips to everything regarding Transcendence versus Awakening, and then what to do and what to prioritize in progression, getting to those floor 11. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I will check you guys in the next video. Peace.